I've heard all about this Lorelei Splendor build. I don't know exactly what the exact build is, but I figured I know the helmet's involved, and based on what I read about the helmet, this is the general build that I decided to go for. I have no idea of how well it works or not. I haven't seen any real videos on it. I just keep hearing people talk about it. So I figured I'd run a shotgun with this very sexy scout rifle. I have a surprisingly good roll for it for PvE and PvP. It's not a god roll, but I think it's a very good roll. So. And I hate running rocket launchers, but there's really no way to escape it. Don't ignore this number. It's mostly because I haven't leveled up any of these, upgraded any of these pieces of armor. But in Crucible, you don't need to. It's no level. The light level doesn't affect anything.
So. Control.
All right, let's see how this goes. Now, apparently, what I'm supposed to do is basically keep every engagement. I should have my shields up and ready to go. Oh. That was weird, but
enemy claimed zone A.
All right.
Enemy claimed zone
That
B.
played PvP and all. Oh, this is
Zone A captured. Enemy claimed zone C.
Jesus. Okay, this is gonna be. There's a lot of firsts for me in this though, so I gotta get used to it.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C captured. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold.
I wish I had
Zone C lost.
Ophidian aspects before Titan.
You're in the lead.
This feels goofy.
Zone C captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on.
just missed his chest. I'm not getting a lot of kills, but I'm not dying a whole lot either, so. Feels so weird, like without like dual marches or something like that. I feel like I'm running through mashed potatoes. I don't know what's going on there, but.
You're winning. Stay strong. Victory imminent. Guardian. Crush them. Double down. Your legend rose. A well-fought victory. You fight like
a good game. Good first game.
Give me your friends. I need more like you.
See how that do. Okay, I'll be perfectly honest. I thought I had a far sexier game, but that's fine. I wasn't positive. That's all that really matters to me. This is pretty much my wheelhouse anyway. Somewhere between the 1.5 and the, I don't know, 0.90. Freestyle. Listen, freestyle. Oh yeah. Listen, freestyle. Real quick, one second. You get that groove first. Oh, okay, it's about to drop. Let me get in there. was gonna freestyle. You was wrong. What? Oh, they put me back in here and at a major disadvantage. I don't know what's happening in here, but
You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage. Zone B lost. Enemy has advantage. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead. You have advantage.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting my shotgun's in my primary slot. Did I get him? Did I not get him?
Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Zone C lost. Power
I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not exactly seeing the appeal.
Zone B captured. You have advantage. 5 minutes left. Shut the enemy down. Zone B lost. Enemy has advantage. You captured Zone B. You have advantage.
Win or lose, they had a decent comeback. I mean, not really good for me, but.
You captured Zone C. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold. Zone B lost. You captured Zone B. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold. You're in
Somehow
the
we took the
lead.
lead. I came in. It was a 10 to.
Zone C lost. One minute. Civil must one. Thirty seconds stand between you and victory. Sound tactics bring victory.
You know what? Strong comeback.
Zones
We went from
controlled.
10 to
Targets
58 to
eliminated.
to a win. I don't know what I did exactly, but hopefully we went positive. I did go positive. Sweet. I know they got to be feeling salty about that loss. I love that the one dude on their team that went negative was the one teabagging. That's how it goes, though, isn't it? I gotta admit, this is a something. Take it forever to load that most up. There we go. Good look. I don't know how I'm feeling exactly about this. I mean, it really depends on the map, but so far the scout rifle has not been the play.
Control.
Let's see how it see how it works in a better environment.
No zones means no victory. Take them and Crush your enemy. Enemy claimed Zone A. Zone C captured. You captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours. Zone B lost. What's that you've got? You captured Zone A. You have advantage. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Zone C lost. Tell them to line up fast.
Oh, dude, stay right behind. What? Come on, bro.
You captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours. Zone A lost.
Ah, damn it.
Power play. Get
That's
those
one of the
zones
reasons why I
back.
don't like playing with rocket launchers.
Zone C captured.
Oh, one thing I forgot to do was put on Icarus. That explains why I have 0 mid-air control. Damn it. the game. I think part of it for me is
That's a power play. You took them. Now hold.
part of it is that I'm playing a style that I'm not comfortable with. Like that's the biggest part of this. I'm not. This is not my style at all. I'm a runner and gunner kind of guy. Even like, I suck. That's how I feel comfortable. This whole like playing behind barricades. And like I don't mind being a bit more stationary. Like I love playing with bows, so that's not a problem for me either. But I don't know. This whole thing is just so awkward.
Don't be lost. You captured Zone A. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost. 3 minutes left.
Oh, I forgot. When I'm critical, oh my god, that sucks. Oh, okay. Okay. This, I don't know, that is.
Zone B captured. You have zone advantage. Go. Make them cry. Zone B lost.
How about I say that? I don't know what you're saying.
That shut them down. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost.
Yeah, after this, I'm changing my build. This is just not me.
Zone A lost. Your enemy has a power play. 1 minute left. Zone C captured. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. You've got 30 seconds. Enemies almost won. 10 seconds. Enemy has defeated.
I had a remarkable and bad game.
You can win
Oh,
a
I
battle
did get
with
peace of
time.
mind. Oh, that's good.
Game.
I need like 3 more. That was a horrendous game for me. Alright, so time to go back to basics. so first things first. So, what exotic do I want to run? I think that's the first place to start. So I can't seem to figure out like what exotic I want to run with this, because this build works better for somebody else, like not me. Like this is not my play style. Like it worked out for 2 games, but like not the way I wanted. It just didn't have the feel I was looking for. I'm a lot more run and gun, so I should start with that and then work my way. Problem is, I don't really. I guess we start with Void. And what up, man? It was her son's friend. You talking about August? So let's see. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's what one of the things that makes it such a big deal. Let's see. But yeah, yeah, it's their whole situation is fucked up. I really don't know what else to say about it that I haven't said already. That is one messy ass marriage. I mean, there are worse ones out there, but because it's Jada, Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, it gets magnified 20 times over. When you're a big name out there, especially when you're somebody like Will Smith. You're such a big actor. You're so well known, and not just well known, but you're known for being such a level-headed, kind person. And then all your skeletons start rolling out the closet. Your wife is you got a cuckold marriage, and you're kind of a simp beta male in your own house, and your wife is not only sleeping with somebody else but your son's friend. Like that's weird, man. Like imagine sleeping with the mother of a famous actor. I hate to say that because Jada Smith is also a big actor. Well, she was a big actor. I don't think she's much of anything these days, but once upon a time she was a big actor. And then she kind of hooked up with Will and kind of faded. She's done a few things over the course. One of which was the show. She was like a producer or even showrunner on the TV series Gotham, which I loved, by the way. The only thing I didn't like about it was Jada. I didn't like her character. I felt her character was super forced into the show. They finally killed her character off. I couldn't have been happier. Can you still hear my mic? Did I turn it up? Yeah, there's a lot. I have a lot of feelings as far as like, there's so many avenues that this hits from, and then it gets worse because of how Will handled it. There's two like avenues to this, whereas on the one side you have last year when their marital issues were leaked to the public. And the weird thing is, it wasn't even like he said, she said kind of thing where, August comes out and says his piece. Because based on what I've gathered, so she hooked up with August. She was feeling a certain way, wasn't feeling loved enough or sexually desired enough or whatever the excuse is. And August was like feeling her, so they hooked up. Apparently, August like fell in love with her. But, like, she was looking at her like, a Stella kind of Brubeck type thing where it was like she's just looking for a young piece of ass to make her feel special and sexy. She wasn't looking to settle down with that. I mean, when you got Will Smith, yeah, you good. Like, you're not going anyplace else. So, August basically was like, Now, I don't know exactly how the story broke, but what I can imagine based on the other pieces I got is that August ran his mouth. August ran his mouth, said some shit to the public or whatever, and it is. It really, really is. I hate to say it, those are some of my favorites. No, but yeah, it is bad. It's terrible. But yeah, apparently, like, as far as if I put the pieces together, it basically comes out as August, because I don't see Jada coming out and saying anything, and I don't see Will coming out and saying anything. So this had to be August coming out saying something, and then, him having some kind of evidence that forced their hand, that forced Jada to come forward. Otherwise, it would just be a, keep my name out your mouth kind of deal. But whatever the deal is, they decided, she decided, and Will, of course, decided to follow along and decided to do that red table talk nonsense. And it was at that moment you knew just how broken Will was. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, rumor has it that they, quote-unquote, had some kind of open marriage agreement. But it seems to me that was clearly not the case. Yeah, well, the thing is, okay, so the whole red table thing was... Okay, so the red table, I guess that's what to put it is, the red table thing was something she was trying to already build. She was in the process of doing this red table talk. She was trying to come up with basically her own, The View, essentially. Only from what it looked like it was going to be more one-on-one conversations, similar to like Gayle King type interviews, like, with her and R. Kelly and stuff like that. She was kind of trying to do her own thing where, she interviews, wild situations between, actors or whatever. And she figured, hey, well, if my skeletons are out of the closet, I might as well use this as an opportunity to launch that. So she had her own husband on, and they had an open discussion about, like, their marriage. And basically the whole discussion between them was, yeah, so, I was with another man, and he was a younger man, and he made me feel good. But you need to understand that I wasn't wrong, and, deal with it. Like, that was pretty much the whole conversation. It was just, I'm not wrong, younger man, deal with it. Like, Yes, I mean obviously, but Jada doesn't. That's the thing is Jada doesn't care. Jada wants to do what Jada want to do. It is very clear who rules the roost in that house now. You know, no one would have thought this before him, but like she's always been a very headstrong person, very strong person. That's never. I mean, people have known that for years, but we didn't think it was like this. This is, I got your balls in a purse type shit. Like, not even jokingly. Like it's crazy. So I mean, and the weird thing is, it's not like okay. So I guess the way I would also look at it too, maybe they did sort of, kind of had maybe a, you know, open-ish marriage, but not the normal-ish way where it's more like swingers. It was probably more like, hey, listen, when you're doing a thing on the road, or I'm doing a thing on the road, you know, filming here or whatever, you know, if you need some kind of release, you find a person, you know, one of your fans or some whatever. You do what you do, and you kick them to the curb. Like that's the deal. You know, none of this in our house bullshit. None of this, you know, we're still a married couple or whatever. But whatever the case may be, this is how that shit broke down, and it's the saddest version that you could possibly think of, outside of Will blew his brains out. Like I think that would be the ultimate. Wow, this is really sad. Is if we found out that, you know, Will pulled a Kurt Cobain, you know, and just called it a day. That would be the saddest end to this story. I don't see him doing that, but the way he looked that day during the interview and the way the media has torn him apart, wow. Exactly. That's all that could possibly, because when you saw his face, it wasn't the face of a man who clearly was accepting of the situation. Clearly. You ever get a chance, rewatch the conversation between them. It starts off as, you know, them having a jaunty little conversation, very lighthearted. And as it continues and the details start coming up, yeah, exactly. Watch the whole thing. It is, you're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Look at Will's face the entire time. It starts off as, "Hey, I'm Will Smith. I'm just, you know, a fun, happy, you know, guy that everybody loves because I'm a beloved, you know, person and actor in the media." And you'll watch it as it goes, and you'll see the sadness behind his face. His eyes are so starting to turn really. Because the thing is, a lot of people show like him a tears moment, and you know, but it's crazier when you watch it transition as he like starts off laughing and joking with her, you know, haha, the crazy things that happens with our marriage, ha ha ha. And then you watch it, and she's telling him these things like I think what started to really get him is when she said, like, I wasn't satisfied at home. Like, when she started saying that is when you could see him, like, starting to deteriorate. Like, it was like, wow, this guy is having a rough time. A real rough time. And it's weird to have someone you love tell you they aren't satisfied at home on national television. All right? Listen, we all had trouble satisfying at one point or another, but to have it blown in the streets like that, and it's not even like, if let's say, if it were you and your wife, or me and well, when I was married or whatever like that, we're just regular ass dudes. This is just our wife telling friends or whatever like that. Who cares? Yeah, I may get a few chuckles when I walk into a room or something, but that's it. We're talking Will fucking Smith here. All right, something like that hits the media and it's everywhere. Exactly. And it's because it's not. It's, as far as I can tell, Will has probably been nothing but a good husband. I'm not saying it was perfect. I mean, you know, what marriage usually is, but he seemed like a genuinely good man to her. And when you're listening to her talk, and you know what? I'll add this to it too. I would be willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, not really benefit, but like, if she said, I was struggling at home and we were having issues, and he just made me feel better at the time that I need to feel better, something like that. And then followed it with, but it was a mistake. It was something I will regret the rest of my life. Something like that shows some level of remorse. Then I would be like, okay, it's just a marriage where some shit's going down. Maybe Will is a problem too in this marriage. Maybe he is in some way pushed her in that direction. Now, I don't ever agree with that. But regardless, you're only human beings, shit happens. But I'd be willing to accept that, hey, maybe Will was fucking up and he pushed her into that direction and she fucked up by falling into it, But no, that's not what happened. She openly came out, I'm not being satisfied, and here's this young guy, attractive, who basically is sweating ripples and ready to throw it on me. And you know what? That's what I needed. Something wrong with that. That's what I needed. And I'm like, bruh, you are a horrible person. Exactly. Agreed. If she even attempted some kind of, I hate that this worked out this way, I didn't want it to be like this, or some level of, partial responsibility, I would have been like, all right, there's blame maybe on both sides of the table. Now, it still would be very difficult to throw, rocks at Will at this time, because at the end of the day, she's the one who got caught cheating. Regardless of what she says, she's still going to look bad, but it would be a bit more understandable. The media would be a bit more split, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of women out there will be like, oh, yeah, you gotta, take care of your women, and sometimes you get pushed in that direction. A lot of understandable things or whatever, and then a lot of the fellas will be like, that's bullshit. But that's not the deal. She chose not to accept any responsibility, and so the entire media steamrolled her for it. Yeah, and I think that's why. Okay, so I also think that's why her whole Lakeisha thing might be bullshit. Like, she's, this whole talk about her having this balding disease and whatever. And I mean, if she does, that's sad. I don't, it's never good for anybody to have any kind of disease in their life. But considering her popularities in the toilet, her image in the toilet, I can see her choosing some disease of sorts to claim that, to get sympathy on her side, to get people like, oh, she's going through a rough time, how sad. There's always be so many doctor's notes or a doctor speak on her behalf or something. So it's just her word against, it's just her, it's just her word that we have to take. And on top of that, she chooses like the one disease that is like, that I don't know, it's like, so you're balding. How are we gonna know you're balding? You cut off all your hair. Now you say you cut it off because of the balding, but a lot of black women cut off all that. I mean, a lot of people of all races cut off all their hair. So how am I supposed to know whether you're having an issue, dealing with a disease, or just doing it for media attention? I don't know. I don't want to assume, but honestly, based on everything that's happened, it's hard to think that any of this is true. And then all of a sudden, the Chris Rock makes a joke about, her short hair, and Will Smith is ready to slap people in the face for her. The whole situation was just sad. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And I think it's crazy too, because it's over the course of 2 years now. Last year, the whole thing about Jada and her husband broke, her cheating. And now this year, it's Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. That is two of the, worst things that can happen to your image. Will Smith can't satisfy his wife, and his wife cheats on him. He has a broken marriage, and his family doesn't respect him. Also, Will Smith flips out and slaps Chris Rock at the goddamn Oscars, the biggest award show in the world. Everyone's watching. Well, enough people are watching. Now they're going to be watching. That combination is horrible. But I could not be happier that that shit ain't me. Actually, I would take that and be rich. I mean, really kind of depends on like what kind of person you are. Because it's not like Will went to jail for what he did. He's not being charges not being pressed against him. He's not being sued as of right now. I mean, his image is absolutely dog water. But if I had to choose between living in poverty or, you know, having Will Smith money and influence, but my image is kind of tarnished by some pretty, you know, fucked up situations, I'd still take Will's life. Let's see. All right, so trying to figure out what is a good build for me. And yeah, see, that's the thing that always kind of gets me. That's the thing that gets me. It's like, okay, you're willing to walk on stage, slap Chris Rock, another very well-known celebrity, in the face at the Oscars, and then not only that, but flip the fuck out, and, you know, because at first people just thought, ha, it was a joke or whatever, until Will got back to his feet and started screaming obscenities, you know, at Chris Rock. Then it was like, oh, okay, like I could get the slap thing as a joke. The Oscars could be like, oh, that's funny, because we've seen some goofy things happen at the Oscars, but they wouldn't allow that cursing shit. Like that that's a cut the cameras off immediate type shit. So when he did that is when it all became very real. It was like, oh my God. So you have to think, he did all of that just to avoid issues with Jada. So what the hell is she doing to him at home? Is she beating him with like reeds? Is she tying him naked to a chair and beating his nutsack? Like, what is happening at home? That's like your wife, like you're sitting in a car with your wife and she looks at you like in an angry way and she wants you to run outside buck naked, you know, into the grocery store, shaking it around. And you have to ask yourself, why is her staring at you angrily able to force you to do something like that? What is she doing to you at home that would make you that afraid? That actually great. I would have loved that actually. It looked like, okay, so it looked like Chris had a lot he wanted to say. Now, I don't know if he was going to say a joke like that, but he looked like he had some real shit to say. I don't know if it was going to be jokes or the streets was going to come out of him, but one or the other, something was rising to the top, and then he realized where he was, and he was like, okay, this is the biggest moment in TV history. Like, and then he moved on. Like, I applaud him because, man, he took that better than I would have. Someone walks up to me and just slaps me in the face in front of the world? Bro. And Jimmy Carrey said it best. I would have woke up the next morning, called my lawyer, and be suing Will Smith for $200 million. And I will win. That would have been funny if he did. Agreed. I mean, but Chris Rock made his bones at Def Comedy Jam, where you have to be the jabbiest of jabby, comedians. Like you gotta take shots, you gotta throw shots hard to keep the fans impressed and laughing. This ain't no Laugh Factory type shit. Def Comedy Jam was one of the hardest places for a comedian to survive. I say after that is probably Night of the Apollo at the Apollo Theater. That was pretty rough stand-up wise. But yeah, today comedian stand-up is a lot more touch-friendly today. When Chris was coming up, that shit was no joke. So yeah, you can bet your ass if he was gonna throw shots, it would have been I'm sure he had locked and loaded ready to go. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Oh, there's no question about that. Every comedian, I'd say stand-up comedian. I should make that clear because not every comedian stand-up, but I think every comedian who survived the 80s and 90s at one point in time went through the Apollo Theater. That was kind of the big deal. Making it to the Apollo was like the pinnacle of your career. As an actual stand-up, not as an amateur. That was kind of the big issue. Because they had amateur nights. And amateur nights, a lot of people do amateur nights. Not a whole lot, but enough people could do amateur nights. It was still just as brutal, though. But I don't think Chris Rock did an amateur night there. He did. He's amateur years where I kept Def Comedy Jam. But yeah, no, I can't wait to hear Chris's thoughts. He broke silence about it. Well, sort of broke silence. He was because he did a comedy show. He was on a comedy tour or is on a comedy tour while when the shit went down at the Oscars. So literally the next night he was doing a show, and of course the place was packed because everybody wanted to know what the fuck his thoughts were in the situation. It went from being like fairly tickets sold, like I said, about half tickets, something like that, to being absolutely sold out, packed house, people in the rafters type shit. Which I don't blame him. I mean, if I had a chance to listen to Chris Rock talk after he got slapped by Will Smith, I would be all over that. A lot of his shows are now sold out. So, to be perfectly honest, this is the best thing that could have happened for Chris Rock. Being slapped by Will Smith just netted him a nice chunk of change of people buying tickets to his show. So, that's the plus for him. Now, Exactly. He was like, he told people like, because he said, I know y'all all want to hear, what happened, and I get it, and trust me, I will get to it at a later date, but you got to understand, I wrote a lot for this show. I can't just not go off script like that. But but don't worry. He's like, I'm loading up now. Don't worry. I mean, there'll be jokes to tell, but right now I'm not gonna be saying much on it yet until I get my thoughts in order. So I was like, I cannot wait. I guarantee Chris Rock gets a special with Netflix after this. Not that he couldn't have before. He easily could have got another special. That's not hard. But he probably would be getting a close to Chappelle deal, as long as he has Will Smith jokes in there. Let's see. All right, so first things first. Let's look in my inventory. Bum, bum, bum. All right. All right. So first things first, I guess. What exotic do I want to use? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look up and see if there's any interesting builds. All right, so I think what I should say. Which queen? PvP Titan. So let's see if we can find something interesting somebody is running. Let's see, we have something from Frostbolt, somebody I truly do like. Alright, so let's see what Frostbolt has to say first.
We'll pop an overshield hill. Actually managed to survive. I'm gonna throw a juicy nade over there. Hopefully it starts dragging. Oh, that accent will kill one. Isn't that crazy? I can just come back to it. Last for 8 seconds so I can get a little bit of an aggro push. Pop a barrier, I got an overshield. Sick. Who knows if I would have died. The abilities that I basically found to be the best, and this is Frostbolt. In this one, we're taking a look at.
Okay, so he's using Alpha Loopy chest armor, which I think just
the
makes
Titan Avoid 3.0. After this intro commentary, you will see some examples in a private match of me testing the abilities and whatnot. Here you will see the abilities that I basically found to be the best, and this is subject to change in the future as I try out different builds. But for now, I'm going with
this one because okay, this one's 2 weeks ago.
What's up guys, I'm BraveX Hero, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take your Titan survivability to another level. How you can be the unkillable machine you desire to be in PvP. But before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel and you've been enjoying the content, feel free to click that subscribe button for more Destiny 2 videos. To an unkillable machine, you first need to equip the exotic chest piece, the Crest of Alpha Loopy, in which you generate an additional orb of power from supers and get a healing pulse when the barricade is active. What really makes this exotic great is not only does it give you a health bump of about 50 points, but when you cast your super, you'll be generating an additional orb of power. Look, check this out. If I activate Ward of Dawn without this exotic chest piece on, my super activation will only generate 3 orbs of power. But by simply utilizing the Crest of Alpha Lupi, now when I activate the Ward of Dawn, I now generate 4 orbs of power, which in game modes like Trials of Osiris and Survival, being able to generate an additional orb of power is a big deal. Also, while we're on the topic of Ward of Dawn, with the launch of the Witch Queen expansion, Ward of Dawn is now one of the fastest super cooldowns in the game. But alright, let's get into the technical side of things. Since this build revolves around you casting your barricade, we want to aim to have the fastest cooldown possible, which for Titans, their class ability revolves around their resilience level. The higher resilience your Titan has, the faster their barricade cooldown is. For today's video, let's focus on getting our resilience to a tier 10. Now for those who are unaware, with the launch of the Witch Queen expansion, Bungie changed the cooldown to the Titan's barricade. The Rally barricade and the Towering barricade have separate cooldowns. It's a difference of 8 seconds. Now I'll give my full opinion on how to utilize the barricade at the end of the video, but for right now, our goal is to abuse the hell out of the barricade, since each activation will be granting us and any nearby teammates an overshield. And if you're utilizing that with the Crest of Alpha Lupi, you'll be getting a health bump. With the overshield and health pump, you're looking at a total of 95 points to your character simply by activating your barricade. Now for the barricade, let's go ahead and choose Rally Barricade, since this will be giving us our faster cooldown. And remember, our goal is to abuse this as often as possible. Also, a lot of players are unaware of the bonus that Rally Barricade provides to the user and their teammates. When utilizing Rally Barricade, you gain a boost to stability, reload, and range while fighting from behind the barricade. Oh, and one last thing, don't worry. A lot of people are scared to use the Rally Barricade because they think snipers can shoot the tops of their heads, but that's just incorrect. Your Titan will be fully covered until you ADS or stand up from behind the barricade. But alright, how fast does a Rally Barricade charge with a tier 10 resilience? Well, it has a cooldown of 18 seconds, which is good, but we can get faster. If you plan on using this for PvP, you should try pairing this alongside 2 utility kickstart mods, which can be found on the Titan's class item.
Alright.
Each one costs...
I pretty much got what I need out of this. So let's move over to this here. First we'll clear this. I'm a little pissed off because I spent all this time building that other build and now I gotta try something different because I just don't like it. Alright, so Crest of Alpha Lupi. Resilience. Well, before we do. Actually. Yeah, okay. So, resilience 10. Ooh, my recovery dropped immediately. Man, because I have recovery for that. Recovery 8. Alright, little boy. Alright, so I'll put this in here. Ooh, look at my character. Look at all gross in his colors. Alright. Oh yeah. What mods do I need to have? Okay, 5 resilience. That's easy to do. Move these. Work. Oh, okay. No problem, man. No problem at all. I'm just trying to come up with a new build for PvP. I was stupid enough to put a lot of resources and things into a build that I wasn't sure about, and it's kind of turned around and bit me right in the ass because I just didn't like the build. So now I'm trying to find something else. Reduce, Alright. My stat numbers are not the way I want them to look, but for now, until I'm sure about what I want to run, I'll go with this. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I wish I could max this out, but I can't because, of course, I blew all my stuff on a helmet that now I don't like. How effing stupid is that? Whatever. Alright, this is the best build I can come up with right now as far as that goes. Let me grab a fusion rifle, because I feel like this is a good fusion rifle build. Now it's time to work on the look. So this is the chest I'm going to be running. So I guess you can take off these arms now. Right off the bat, I gotta look start doing good. Yeah, that's good. Now hold on. Some boots. Daddy needs some proper looking boots. No. Oh, no wonder it's not bad. They're the same matching boots as the arms. God damn it. For those who don't know, I really don't like matching the same pieces of armor together. I like mixed matching things to make them look different. The only reason I will ever settle on having two pieces together is if there's a specific like look that has to go with everything else to make it work. Otherwise, no way, Jose. I like those awkward looking beats. That sound actually works. Kind of. I'll come back to that. That's not bad. Alright, so the closest one is this one, which honestly doesn't make me happy. So let's see what I can get over here. Oh. Close. No. No. pair, another look if I can't find the right thing. Let me know. This is actually solid. If I don't like this here. This is actually good. Look that bad. It's not what I'm going for, but surprisingly not that bad. Let's go with this. Color that I like. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of dope. Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm personally thinking that look like color. I'm not even a big fan of green, but this kind of works. I guess it doesn't happen anymore. I had a thing that I really liked, and then I changed some stuff, and now I'm questioning like, what the hell did I do? I can't even remember what I originally did that I liked. About to construction work. That's actually a build I wouldn't mind making, like the construction worker. 90%. I'm basically making the most plain looking Titan imaginable. I think I'm gonna have to settle with what I got here. What I do? That's not work. Man, this is close and perfect. I put far more time into this than actually getting good at the game. I noticed that. get them over with. Wait, what the hell is the one that I... hate to use accentuate one for that. I'm putting all this down to this shit, man. And I don't even know if I like this build yet. spent like an hour doing this.
Control. I know you can fight, but can you hold territory?
Oh shit, I didn't
Enemy
even
claimed
set up
Zone
my...
C. You captured Zone A.
Shit, I didn't even set up my,
You have zone advantage. Enemy claimed Zone B. Zone C lost. Enemy has advantage. Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours.
I don't know what it is just used to create that barrier that gives you... I don't know. I'll figure it out. Holy crackers! Oh!
That shut them down. seen enough. I'm calling this one.
I didn't get to do much, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that I didn't set up any of my.
Well-fought victory.
Okay, I stand corrected on peace of mind.
Your victory gives the city hope, Guardians.
I still went positive.
Control. Show your enemy this place belongs to you now. Take the zones. Zone A captured. Enemy claims Zone C. Enemy claims Zone B. They have advantage. Zone B captured. You have zone advantage. Zone A lost. Enemy has advantage. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. You gain the lead.
I kind of panicked.
Zone B lost. Enemy has advantage. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. Zone C lost. They have advantage. You captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours. Zone A lost. You captured Zone C. Zone advantage is yours. Zone B lost. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. Zone A lost. Enemy has advantage. You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage. Zone C lost. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. Zone B lost. Enemy has advantage. 5 minutes left. Keep it up. Zone B captured. You have advantage. Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Zone C captured. You have advantage. Zone A lost. You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage. Zone C lost. Enemy has advantage. 3 minutes. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Zone A captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on. Zone A lost. They have advantage. You captured Zone B. You have zone advantage.
I swear to God, this guy throws like the absolute perfect weather horse shot.
Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage.
Good night, man.
Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. One minute. Zone A lost. Enemy has
I don't know
zone
why I did
advantage.
that. That was just dumb.
Don't let your enemy take this without a fight. 30 seconds remaining. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Rise from this loss and fight again. You eat monsters for breakfast. You can win a battle for territory. Again.
I really like the idea of a Wither Horde. The SMG is kind of the part that, like... Let's see if this build.
Control. Take those zones, Guardian. Victory demands it. You captured Zone C. Enemy claimed Zone A. Enemy claimed Zone B.
What?
Zone B captured. You have zone advantage.
I shouldn't have survived that.
What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Zone B lost.
Ah, how did I miss that?
Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. Zone C lost. enemy has a power play. Double down. Zone C captured. Only 5 minutes left. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone A lost. You captured Zone A. Zone advantage is yours. Zone B captured. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold them. Zone A lost. 3 minutes remaining. Zone B lost.
That feels kind of funny. When in doubt, with the horn at your feet.
Your enemy is pushing for victory. Punish them for it. You captured Zone A. You have zone advantage. One minute left. fight again.
That was fun.
You've got to hold those zones. Maybe
I don't know
next
how well
time,
I did, but I had fun with it. Went positive with my best score of the night. Okay, now here's the thing. We can do better with this. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly Loopy does. Let me see. Generates an additional orb and healing pulse when barricade is activated. Okay, that's all right. Well, then I can't really switch off of that. Because I was thinking, that I could run, what do you call it? My charger knee build with this. All right. I think that's enough for tonight. Spent a lot of time just working on well, that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back on probably tomorrow. As always,